So we got a pretty cool comment this week on our YouTube. One of our watchers from Quebec City actually asked us if we'd research a topic. Do you want to go into that, Matt?
Sure, yeah, we had a comment on YouTube from Simon Légaré, and I'm sure I'm butchering his name because I'm not even going to try to say it like a
We're
francophone.
we're not francophones. We tried in seventh grade to learn
Yeah.
French, and did you take more than 1 year, Matt?
No, I only did 1 year, but
Ah,
it's something I might want to pick up because there are a lot of francophones here in Alberta,
that's
actually,
right.
quite a few.
Yeah,
Um, I've got a funny story actually where
I want
when
to
I
hear it.
was I think I was 18 years old and I was driving to Beaumont, which is a French community just south of Edmonton, and
That's
I
by
had
the
a
airport, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this hot date and I'm driving up
Oh,
through Beaumont and there's this giant stop sign. Like it's not a regular size stop sign that says arrête. It's this giant stop sign. It's kind of like when somebody speaks in another language and they're yelling at you.
You're gonna
Like
understand it more if it's bigger.
like getting louder is better. And so, anyways, this big giant stop sign. And I don't know if it was the fact that the stop sign was just so big that my distracted mind didn't register it as if it was a stop sign, but I went right through
You
it.
went right through the arrest sign.
Yeah, I was young and it was a hot date and giant stop sign. So, anyways,
Okay.
let's get into this. So, Simon brought up a really cool article from Wired Magazine, and it's all about Facebook's 10-year challenge. So, have you seen the 10-year challenge? Did it show up in your Facebook
Course.
feed?
Yeah, everyone's posting pictures from 10 years ago, and I just don't have the heart to tell them that they do look 10 years older.
That sounds, yes, you're getting older.
We
Not
can see
only have
it.
styles changed, but you look older.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen it too. Did you do it? Did you do the 10-year challenge?
No, we should do it on our Instagram, though. What do you think after this? Let's do a 10 years
Yeah,
challenge.
especially after we get into some of the questions about it. But yeah, let's do it. I'm not afraid to do it.
All right, I dare you tonight. Let's post.
All right. So Kate O'Neill on Wired, when the Facebook challenge came out, she tweeted this. She says, "Me, 10 years ago, probably would have played along with the profile picture aging meme going around on Facebook and Instagram. Me now ponders how all this data could be mined to train facial recognition."
Hmm.
So she tweeted that out and it started getting retweeted and people started commenting. And some people were like, well, what's the harm of this? This is all public information. You could go to somebody's Facebook feed, and I believe profile pictures are available to anybody, no matter what your security setting is on Facebook. So they're like, it's already in the public, so what's the harm? And her point was, well, if you're doing a study and you could mine this information, you could look for timestamps, and you could go and do this and then study how people age in 10 years. But she said, if I was doing a study, create this meme that goes around on Facebook, and then instead of trying to pull with AI and pull people's profile pictures from 10 years ago and going by timestamps, and then you have to filter through all that data because how many profile pictures have you seen with somebody's kid, right?
Yeah.
Me 10 years ago, and it's this adult, and then now it's a baby or maybe their dog or their cat, right? And so you got to filter through that. And she says, what a smart idea. If this is really how it happened, somebody's doing this study, people are doing it themselves. Me 10 years ago, me now. And they're also choosing pictures that look similar.
And they're
Right?
using hashtags, which makes it really easy to look up from a
Oh,
data
yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, so they're using hash absolutely. So it's easy to mine the data and you can still look for the outliers, right? Like some people were doing goofy posts of like not even them, right? And so you could still go through the outliers and remove it. So all of a sudden you've made somebody's research a whole lot easier. And what she does, Katie O'Neill goes and she says, well, the question is, we all know on Facebook that we are the product. Facebook is free. It makes its money off of advertising and sells what information they have on us to the highest bidder. I mean, we saw that with Cambridge Analytica and a few other issues. I mean, Facebook has been hauled in front of Congress. So, I mean, this is no secret. So she comes up with three things that could come out of facial recognition technology over 10 years. She comes up with a good application, basically a mundane application, and then one that could have negative consequences.
Ooh, I want to hear the negative consequence one.
Well, let's start with the good one. I mean,
Okay.
The first one she says is this could be great in finding missing children.
Oh, have you listened to that podcast by CBC called Someone Knows Something?
No, tell me about it.
It's cool for all our podcast listeners. If you're Canadian and you like a good mystery, somewhere out east, a kid went missing that was 6 years old, and he went fishing with his dad and just disappeared.
Oh,
And so they go back like 20 years later and try to interview everyone again. They take dogs to the frozen lake, cadaver dogs.
ooh.
But some people claim that this guy that's about 26 in a nearby city is the kid, and so
Oh, wow.
it would be really cool to have this kind of technology to age your face
Yeah.
and see what missing people would look like. Someone Knows Something, a CBC podcast.
CBC knows,
Yeah.
or somebody knows something. Okay. So the good is that that's something that facial recognition and looking at how people change over 10 years would be good. Mundane. So this is something that it could be good, could be bad. We're really not sure. And that's targeted advertising. So with that type of technology, they could look at your profile picture and not just guessing your age, they could probably get pretty close to what your age is. And so now they can target advertising just on your profile picture to your age, your ethnicity, your gender. And so, I mean, that could be good or bad. Dan, do you want targeted advertising or do you want random advertising? Do you prefer?
I prefer no advertising, but if it has to be geared towards me, actually, I listen to a lot of Spotify, and it's so funny. Every time they mention something, it's like, oh yeah, I was just at Home Depot shopping, or I was just doing. They must have me connected somehow
Oh, it's scary.
because they know what I want. They know the type of
Oh, yeah.
movies I'm into. It's really weird.
So here I'm
Yes, I
gonna
do want it.
I want it. I'm gonna go a little bit off the crazy rails, and I don't know if this is real or not, but I could have sworn, and you hear these stories all the time, that something I've only said shows up in my advertising. So,
Oh,
looking at my browsing, people know I'm into RVs. People, like they know a lot about me, and so when an RV ad shows up, it's not surprising. But then when I'm talking about something I'm interested in, but I haven't looked into it yet, it's really creepy when it shows up. So it could be one of two things. One, Google's always listening.
hmm
Or two, the targeted advertising has already guessed what I'm going to be interested in
yeah.
before. And so here's a little disclosure. What it was recommending to me, the advertisement was on weight loss. Now,
Oh,
it
how
hit
could they know you were trying to lose weight, man?
maybe my profile picture.
From 10 years before, they noticed
And they're like,
that.
hey, Tubby, you put on 10 pounds.
If that BMI is over 25, send them the weight loss.
But it could also be January. Hello, New Year's resolution. So I'm not a total conspiracy theorist, but
Yeah.
when something like that happens, it does kind of creep you out. So here's the third one. So the first
Okay.
was good. The second was mundane, which is targeted advertising. And then the third one is in insurance assessments, healthcare, those types of things. So imagine your insurance company takes a look at your profile picture
Mhm.
and they're like, dude, you're supposed to be 35, but you look like you're in your late 40s.
Oh,
So
no.
there's something wrong with your health.
Yeah.
So you apply for life insurance or something along those lines. You could be denied just based on their AI algorithm that takes a look at your profile pictures that you've posted online, and they're like, dude, something's wrong with that guy.
I could see that becoming a reality because they're already getting super nosy. Like if you've skydived before or even scuba dived, your
Yeah.
premiums go up. And I mean, that's assuming you answer truthfully, but
Yeah.
they could
But if
save a
they're like,
lot of money if
you
they
posted pictures scuba diving and skydiving.
the social media is ruining my life insurance.
I know so many stories of people who are like, they call in sick to work. I've got the plague. And then they post on Facebook, I was down at Cabo. It was amazing. So anyway,
Awesome.
that's the interesting stuff that's going on. And Simon recommended that article. So I guess I have a question for you, Dan. Are you concerned about these types of memes that go around and are soliciting information? So that's interesting, right? They were soliciting your profile pictures from 10 years ago till now. Are you concerned about that? And do you think that your data could be used for nefarious purposes?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think human nature is so interesting. Do you remember the ice bucket challenge? How
Oh
just
yeah.
everybody did it?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody did it. And like nobody even knew what Lou Gehrig's disease was, and suddenly it was the biggest thing, you know?
Hmm.
And now we're all doing this 10-year challenge. Here's what I think's going on. I know Facebook started like 2005 or 2006, but back then it was mostly people that were in Ivy League schools that were
Sure.
able to join.
Yeah.
It really caught on with the main group of people in about 2008, 2009. That's when most people kind of started to join.
Hmm.
And so I think what's going on is it's just been 10 years since Facebook got popular. And you know how on your feed it says, oh, here's a picture from 10 years ago. I think what happened is somebody just saw one of their old pictures and said, hey, I look pretty similar. I'm going to post this. And then everyone else started seeing their pictures from 10 years ago as well, because that's when they joined.
Yeah.
That's when Facebook became popular, about 2008.
So it's interesting that you brought that up, that Facebook was a kind of a grassroots popularity. And Facebook claims that there was nothing nefarious about this meme. There's nobody out there doing a face recognition study. They said it was a grassroots meme that started by some user and then it just picked up steam, which very well could be. But now, if anybody wanted to, they could just follow the hashtags, grab a whole bunch of data,
Yes.
and make some money. So here's what Katie O'Neill said, and I thought this was great. And so this is from the end of her article on Wired magazine. She said, or on Wired, she says the broader message: humans are the richest data sources for most of the technology emerging in the world. Our data is the fuel that makes businesses smarter and more profitable. So I guess that just comes down to, if you're not paying for it, you're the commodity.
You're the commodity. And I just saw an article this week on Slashdot about how data scientists are one of the highest paid computer people in the
Hmm.
workforce, and it's just getting their salary is just getting higher. I mean, last year they were one of the highest paid. So if
Yeah.
you're thinking about what career to do and you don't want a lot of student loans and you only want to go to school for 4 years, data scientist
And you want to make almost as much money
as
as an
whoever.
anesthesiologist.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fascinating. I saw the exact same article. Funny, you and I both clicked on it. Suckers for that clickbait.
Yeah, but we did not bring it up in our podcast. Well, I guess we did now,
We
but I
just
mean,
did.
it's technically not one of our topics.